Hello. How y'all doing? What's up? Stuff, man. Big bad stuff. All kinds of stuff happening up in ya right now. Okay. We are stuff. That's good. Cool. Okay, cool. We failed. We failed. Chat. I think we failed. First things first. Let's look at news. We have 2 red folders. We have 4 orange folders. High impact news. Yeah. That's what it looks like. Do I want to trade today? No. What is today? It's Thursday. No biggie. What's Friday? Scary. I could look for a trade Friday. I could look for one. Scary is what that is. I'm disappointed in myself. Because we took a trade saying, yes, price is going to go higher. We got stopped out right here. Or, I'm sorry. We got stopped out right here. Price continued lower immediately after that. Swept up these lows here, which we should have. I should have been smart enough to know this was going to happen. It was going to come down, sweep this, and then continue higher. Should have known. Should have seen that coming. I don't know why my brain was dumb enough to think it wouldn't. We see price moving higher now. And we are now on Thursday. Why'd I say we failed? That number hurts to look at. You could be the NBA of day trading, but no buts. I mean, that right there hurts to look at. We took a loss yesterday. It was a small one, but still a loss nonetheless. Unless we can make back the totality of this and more to get back into the green within today and tomorrow, will have failed my second attempt at 3 months of profitability, of trying to make a profit, trying to get good at this. We have 2 days. And then I have to make a decision. One I'm not going to like, one you're not going to like. One I'm unfortunately having to be stuck with. Because time is not on my side anymore. I'm going to remove all the drawings. Hope you guys are enjoying your Thursday. This will be posted a little later. Got a lot to upload today, so I'd like to get to hit the ground running, if at all possible. It appears the bias is still in an uptrend. We just recently broke out of, we actually swept this high right here. That's what this was. We had a retrace. Prices continuing higher on this hourly note there. That's good. We're gonna go down to 30 minutes. Zoom up over here. Highlight 9:30 for market open. Highlight 10:30 for the no timer. Same story here. I'm gonna keep that fairly adjusted there. We have Asian session low here, which gives us our general low. We have a high that has not been passed and looks like it's about to get passed. We're going to keep an eye on this little key level here. We have topmost candle down here. Here's a key level for us to pay attention to. If we have a candle closure above this, we know it's going to continue higher. If we have a candle closure within and it'll retrace down, and then we have to be very, very careful, very, very mindful of this candle right here. If it comes down and respects this, it'll come back up, continue higher, but if it continues down, closes below this, and then we get a wick past this, that'll be a well-defined, okay, we're continuing down. Those are generally speaking, key levels. We had a fair value gap here that was respected, so we should see price continue higher. There hasn't been a break of structure within this entire leg up on the 30-minute. If we look at it on the hour, see the same thing. No break of structure whatsoever throughout this. The only break of structure we had was here, and it was on a liquidity sweep. Order block, push higher, retrace. Sweep boom. Cool. Yeah. I wasn't kidding about last video, the Org Plus video. I want someone to roast me on that. Dude, I felt bad for losing that trade. I felt bad for myself. There's a high there. Highest candle is within this range here. I think this is a good equilibrium for this high and this low. We have a very prominent middle ground to look at. Meh. I'm not going to count this. That's not about key level in my opinion. This one right here is. Yay. We have our key levels. The value up here, same story, was respected. It's continuing higher on the NASDAQ. Do we have any SMTs? Not really. Looking at the wrong time frame. Same story here. That works. Lowest candle, highest candle. From here we have our two ranges. It's got to respect this, or it closes above it and continues higher. Realistically speaking, I'd love to see it continue higher. We have a sweep of liquidity here. This would have been our liquidity sweep. From this, we have, I guess, relative equal highs. I imagine it's the same story on this as it was before. We have this high here and no liquidity to the left to really look at or forward to. What's my bias at the moment? Yeah, this is legit the highest point on this current just here, and we just on the daily swept this. So I think price could go higher. Realistically speaking, I think it needs to retrace. I think it does. Hang on, I'm gonna look something up right quick. Hopefully I can clear it up and I can get to a firmer understanding as to why the charts are different on different applications. I understand the differences between the two applications. That's not what I'm after. I'm after specifically the reason behind there being two different highs, and so when I swap between the two, I at least have a margin of, okay, I can take profit here, I can take profit there, and they at the very least line up with the data that's already being shown on the 10-minute delayed one, right? That being said, so the internet did not help. My thought process is we'll continue with what we've been doing, right? We'll get good at really depicting this. Everything about it. I have an inkling that I will get better at this. I know I have the ability to. At the same time, I also know how much risk is involved in this. Am I willing to take on that risk? Yeah, I am. If it means I can live happily, yeah, I'll take the risk. What did I mean at the start of the video when I said, guys, we failed? Well, that was my mental going off. Everything about the past month has been kind of rough. I keep thinking, okay, this trade's good. We get stopped out to some stupid decision making on my part. And the end result is we kept just losing. And the few times I chose not to trade because I felt as though the market wouldn't have gone my way turned out to be okay markets to hop into. We just happened to lay out and miss it completely. And this is on news days where we weren't supposed to, and on days where we could have equally. The month of June, we've had roughly 2 weeks worth of news that we haven't been able to trade on. So that leaves me with 2 and a couple days to really get trades in. And up until this point, about 65% of those trades I have failed. I failed them. So now I'm here doing this again because I have faith in myself that I can do it. I think I can. think I can. I think I can. There are no take profit levels above this, outside of this being the take profit level to look at. We have one low here that is a draw on liquidity. We have a low here. We have a high way up here. Cool. Cool. I understand this. I understand this was an order block. I understand this was a liquidity sweep. Why was this a liquidity sweep? We had relative equal lows and enough of them to where price pushed up, passed, and swept this. We had an order block. This was a sweep of liquidity, and because of us have swept this liquidity and there being relative equal lows here, and this only being a single level, we pushed up high enough to one sweep, and then for market makers to manipulate market, fill their sell orders, push price lower, which caused, guess what, a second sweep here. Off of this, we see price move up in a breaker block pattern. Price moved outside the range of, it actually didn't move outside the range. We had a move down and then a move up, right? And then the repeat move down was within range of this. Valid order block, valid breaker block, valid order block, valid break of structure off of this sweep, and it continues higher from there. Outside of that, shoot, that might have been a breaker block or break of structure right there, actually. So we had breaker block and then break of structure, order block, and sweep of those highs there. Now we're seeing price up in this area here, and we are an hour, 2 hours away, roughly, an hour and 10 minutes away from pre-market open, and 2.5 hours away from market open, New York Stock Exchange. That being said, there's not much else I can really do at the moment when it comes to identifying the key levels on this chart here. Looking at this is pretty much what I'm working with, a high, a low, and then of course outside of that a low that was previously the sweep is now a mode of liquidity, because that is relative equal lows there. I think I want to look for shorts. Market has presented short indicators left, right, and center throughout that entire move up, and we, for the move up off of this right here, have not swept this high. We have not swept this high. The most I can assume right now is that this leg up is about to be short-lived, because again, we have relative equal lows throughout this. We have a strong drawn liquidity way down here. We have liquidity, more liquidity, super strong drawn liquidity way down here. Their price wants to continue higher. They had to go down first, and we have bridged the gap going back up, so a retrace, I believe, is in order. I want to see a retrace off of this. The daily, just so we're on the same page, this says we're in an uptrend. Though this closed below, because we closed above the highest high outside of this and the most recent high in trend, this break of structure says we're still in an uptrend. We have a fair value gap saying price is going to continue higher, roughly. We've seen it continue higher from that fair value gap. Now we look for signs that it wants to draw on liquidity for 2 inch longer. Am I confident in that? Am I confident in my bias? Yeah. Am I going to marry it? No. I'm smart enough not to. I understand that if either of these key levels are hit, to respect them in the decision making that tells us where market wants to go. I also understand that throughout this entire leg, There could be a secondary key level. We have a fair value gap here. That's pretty much gold. We pretty much have a retrace down because this right here was the sweep of liquidity. We have a retrace, move up, move down. Cool. What we're looking for is the retrace back up, which I believe we just got. This would be a valid breaker block, in my opinion. I think that's what this is, formed right here. This breaker block is going to give us a mode of watching, right? Same story here. We had retrace down, move up, move down. This is a valid breaker block setup. What we're looking for is either a break of structure for price to come down, close below this low, close below this low. That gives us a valid break of structure, key level hit. And again, we want to make sure that this is a valid breaker block. If it's not, then we'll see price come down off of this high. It'll close, but it won't close below the range of this previous low made here. Boom, boom, that low. Because of that, we'll see a order block form, right? And that order block will break structure back down temporarily. It will break structure? No, it won't. Because breaker blocks and order blocks occur on the same price range. So if the move down closes, but within range, that's an order block where you should see price move higher, break structure, continue up, right? Actually, continue structure up. But if price continues to move down and closes below it, the breaker block has then been disrespected. And so the continuation confluence that would have been built here is no longer saying up, instead it's saying down, because that would have been in turn a break of structure. That break of structure is the end of current trend, which is up. Once that's taken care of, we'll see it move down from that break of structure. We want to see all of that occur. Once the confluences occur the way we want them to, we'll act on them. I don't think I can do any better. I can do better. How? I don't know right now. I don't know how I can make this better. I really, really don't. This is current price action. This is what we're looking at. Same story here. I'm not going to put as much here, though, because I'd like to see it move the way it wants to on this, with very little blocking my field of vision. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video, wait for a key level to get hit until it has. The video's gonna stay paused. I'll be right back, and for you guys a second. We'll be right back. Hello, 8 a.m. pre-market open. What exactly am I seeing at this very moment in time? I'm seeing a high that's currently being respected. It's not being crossed above yet. I'm also seeing what I've been seeing a second ago. We have, again, order block, sweep, push higher, break of structure off of this here, break of structure. We were in a downtrend. The second we closed above this high right here, this was our break of structure that price is going to go higher. From this break of structure, that would price went higher. It did just that. Yay. We had small retrace. Oh, man. I haven't slept, so stuff. We know news is gonna hit around 8:30. I'm looking forward to it. Plain and simple. We've got retrace here, move up, breaker block formation type gist, right? Here's our repeat move. It did not continue down past this. Looking for a second move up here, a respected high. If this move comes down and breaks past this low in particular, that'll be a break of structure telling me price is going to go lower. That's a key level hit, right? In the event it does not and it decides to close within this and the next candle slash move is up and we wind up breaking past this most recent high, that is a key level hit. We're looking for price to continue higher, and from there we'll be moving on with strategy. Again, I want to make certain we are on the same page. We have relative equal lows right here. Super strong draw on liquidity right here. And I'm not screwing up this time. No, sir. I see this and I know what I'm looking at. I see this and I know what I'm looking at. I understand price can come way back down. So here's the gist. Here's the goal. Here's the stuff, right? We're gonna get a break of structure on the hourly. Plain and simple. Because that's the time frame that holds the power that says we're gonna go one direction or another for a little while. Break of structure will occur and we will go for a short. In the event this move here is respected and we see it continue higher after a closure down low, we are going to assume the price is going higher. I want to see, and this is the hourly, let's move on down to 30-minute, get a better overview because we got this here. Back up, back down, strong reaction, right? Okay, because this can be considered an order block sweep of this high here, which means the very next move is going to be a small retrace, move up. Now we're looking for, guess what? Our confirmation confluence is going to move down. And that point, it'd be order block, move down. It will not move past this low here. Breaker block without breaking structure here. It'll continue higher. If it breaks structure off of this, it's going to go lower. And if it breaks structure off of this, it'll break structure more likely off of this as well. So we'll have double break of structure saying, yep, price is going to go lower. We're going to go lower. Time to look for shorts. I want to see a retrace. I want to see confirmation. As soon as we have that, I have no problem attempting to look for the rest of the confluences needed to enter in on the trade. And 8:30, right there. That candle is going to be massive, one way or another, because news. And the reaction off of news is pretty indicative on where it's going to want to go. Man. I am big schleppy. Am I up for this trade? Absolutely. I'm up to know what's about to happen and how fast it'll happen when it happens. My whole gist at this very point in time is to look for an entry, and if I can't find one, then I am not taking a trade today, win or lose. Y'all seen the weather recently? It's getting kind of crazy around here. It was pretty hot. Now apparently locally we are prone to some crazy storms. Man. I'm gonna pause the video because there's not much happening at the moment. I understand. I'm seeing that this right here was passed above. I want to see a reaction. That is my sole thing right now. A reaction will be made before I make a decision. That is what this is going to be before I make a decision on move to the 5 minute. I'm gonna pause the video. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're now at 8:30. As you can see here, we are at 8:30. We're looking at news. News looks like it's actually going to bring price down. The question becomes if news is anything to look at and really get a fair assessment on. Is it going to continue lower, or is it going to, from the reaction off of the news, continue higher? That is the question. If we close in the next 27 minutes and we have it below there, that will be a well-defined break of structure, in which case that will be our key level hit that price is going to come down like we wanted to. From that break of structure, we'll be looking for retrace back up just to get that mode set up right. Once that's the case, we can then take profit all the way down to those relative equal lows, because that is a super strong draw on liquidity at the moment. And I think we are going to hit those today. That's what I think is going to happen. Are we going to hit those today? I hope we hit those today. We have plenty of space and room for it. We got 26 minutes for this close. I'm not going to record the entirety of just one candle moving around. Instead, I'm going to pause the video, come back when this candle is officially closed and we have what we need, right? Just for reference sake as well. So we had this key level here hit. We have 5 minutes here. Boom, right? We have this candle here. Did we break structure on any of this? Nope, not until this right here. That, broke this, broke that. Technically, this right here looks pretty dang nice. We have legitimately, though, 1 minute for this candle specifically to close. Yeah. Do I want to really take this into consideration? I don't think so. Not just yet, I don't. I would much rather wait for genuine confirmation. We have 30 seconds on that. 30 minutes, and that's a pretty well-defined break of structure right there. If it closes down that low, this candle does. This candle breaks structure, and it is looking like that's the way it is. We'll have broke structure on both the hour and the 5 minute, and we could just continue on down, but is this a smart call? No, it is not. Why? Because this entire candle is the encompassment of 30 minutes, not 5, not an hour, and the higher time frames hold higher power. On the hourly, what is happening right now? That is almost like just barely past that break of structure that we were hoping for. We have 24 minutes for this candle to close. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to save myself the time, pain, and potential suffering. I'm going to save myself. I'm going to stay on the hour, and I'm going to watch this candle form. And I have 24 minutes for this candle to form completely, close, and start the next candle at 9 a.m., right? 24 minutes. We either break structure on the hour so we can move to the 5, or I'm not going to consider this a break of structure. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to consider this a valid breaker block sequence, because guess what? It will have closed within the range of, guessed it, order block, sweep, boom, within the same range. If it closes below, not only will it be a break of structure, but an invalid breaker block, which means we're no longer going up, instead we're moving down. Tells me we're going to move down. From there, we find all the confluences, mini retrace if we need to, back up to get the best entry possible, and to watch price plummet all the way down the way we need it to. That is currently my entire thought process right now. That being the case, I'll see you guys in a sec. Rational thinking. Rational thinking is something I've been doing the past couple of minutes. Right? I think it's best to say it, spell it, spray it now. Okay? Realistically speaking, if we don't have this move that we're currently in break structure the way I want it to, right? The way I think it's going to, my thought process hinges on it breaking structure to continue lower, right? If we can't get that break of structure and it decides to continue higher instead, I'm going to de-risk a lot. Like, all the motivation I had for taking a trade today, out the window. I don't want to lose the trade. That's what's bad about trying to take a trade, losing it in the first place. I understand 3 things about it. 1, that leaves us a single day to make up for the now almost $5,000 loss of this entire month. 2, more obviously, more to the point, the trade idea would be wrong. And 3, it will ultimately lead to my failure in identifying a trend I think is going to work out, and I'll need to go back to the books. I want to make a profit this month. I'd like to pass this month. I really, really would. I'd like to have my time back to really get trades in, and good trades too, not some shabby, oh, there's news all throughout this week, I want to take a break. No, no, no. I want the opportunities to trade and get good at it to a fine point that I can happily say I can come into this market now with zero doubt in my ability to identify everything that's needed within the market, and my ability to identify an entry point as well as de-risking at the same time. I'd like to be able to get to that point happily. And it begins with learning how to de-risk and controlling the emotions, ego, yada, yada, yada. Knowing that a loss is not entirely a loss. It's a lesson learned. Not gonna lie, the past couple of weeks they have felt, every single time I've said that, they have felt like a smack in the face. It's a lesson learned, smack. It's a lesson learned, smack. It's a lesson learned, smack. Have I not learned my lesson yet? I have. De-risk. Easiest answer to it all. De-risk. Except that I might not get to enter in on a trade today. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it right now. That's where I'm at. If this closes in the next 30 seconds and we have a broke structure, I said it is a confirmed breaker block confluence that says price is going higher. Not lower. And just so we're on the same page, this is NASDAQ. If we hop over here, it's the same chart. No S&T divergences on any of this. We closed. We did not break structure. This is cool. Are we going to go higher or are we going to go lower? I'm interested in finding out. We are currently at 9. a.m. Cool. We have another hour to go. So this, like, lined up pretty dang well with this right here. I'm gonna give the hour because, again, a respected or disrespected breaker block is based on move, not candle, right? So just because this right here did not close below this does not necessarily mean this one won't as well. So it's the entirety of the move down that we're looking at. If the entirety of the move lands below this, breaks structure and continues lower, that's cool. We can use that to our advantage. But in the event, for whatever reason, we close up within this on the multiple next candles, right? That's where things are going to get a little more, no, that's not good, right? I think I've said all I wanted to really say at the moment. I'm watching the market like a hawk. Realistically speaking, I am butt kicking tired. My butt feels like it's been kicked. Back feels like it's in knots. I could pass out like a baby and wake up later on in the afternoon and do all the work I need to then. I'm half tempted to say, hey, you want to take a gamble right quick? Here's what we'll do. We'll go to like the short position, this thing right here, this little tool, right? I can choose whether or not to do short or long position. This won't enter me in on a trade, but it will give me an entrance point. Like I just click here. I entered here. Woo! This was the line where my price was, and I put my stop loss here. I'm gonna take profit way down there. If I put this down, it doesn't like burn through any of this right here, but instead it gives me a risk to reward ratio as to what exactly I'm risking and what the take profit looks like. And if the RR comes back and it's a good number, the loss is not too steep, it's not too close to entry, and the take profit is far enough down or up, whichever way we're trading, then ultimately it'd be a good trade to have taken, right? Under the correct use in confluences and understanding that market can reverse at any given moment, right? I'm so tired, I lost my train of thought. These are the heavy yawns too. Like my body says, yes, I am definitely tired. My head says, ooh, that pillow feels nice. I feel the air running it like through the hair follicles on my arms, and I'm ready to crash. If you got to watching Wednesday's stream, the couple of hours I managed to stay awake for it, you'll notice I did the almost exact same thing. I woke up stupid early and wound up streaming or staying awake for multiple hours. I lost a trade and then I started streaming, and then after I started streaming, I crashed hard. I did not wake up till about 8 p.m. last night. Ever since I've been awake. I don't know what the heck is wrong with me. I don't know if it's because of the heat outside or what. But man, am I just messed up right now. Mentally speaking, I'm a big old meh. I'm not entirely crazy, but at the same time, I'm not entirely chill either. 3 minutes has got the same thing. That's got 25 minutes for this right here to close. And this did break structure here, so that actually works for us. If we were to count that as a break of structure, this right here, right? Because it was this leg down that broke structure on multiple, pretty much all of this. What would we be looking for? We'd be looking for inverse Rayleigh gap or break of structure back to the upside. Why? That confirms that this right here is swept liquidity and that we're gold, right? Okay, or an SMT divergence within this. Well, let's see, an SMT divergence anywhere in this at the moment. Not really. Oh. Yeah, no SMT divergence in this. So that being the case, we have fair value gap form here. It's not an inverse fair value gap until boom right there. We had an inverse fair value gap saying, yep, price is gonna continue down. This was confirmed. From this, we wait for breaker block, order block, equilibrium, or fair value gap to form a second time. If this candle closes within the next 4 minutes, and we have a gap here, that means price is going to continue lower. From there, we wait to the 1 minute. Breaker structure, inverse fair value gap. From there, back down in that motion. We enter in a sell trade, and we watch it plummet. I don't think we're going to get a fair value gap off of this, though. What I think we're going to do is, because if we consider that breaker block, retrace, move up, move down, retrace back up, strong reaction down. The order block occurred. It's not within the price range. It's not within the price range, nor is it continuing trend. So valid breaker block motion at the moment. We're waiting on confirmation that that is in fact a breaker block. And it'll occur on this move that we're watching right now. We're waiting for the rest of the green to form. If it can continue forming, it will stop just in this range here, right? It will close, and then we'll see the beginning of a new move come back down, and it'll be a large move. It'll close below this, break or continue structure out of this. We should see it plummet after which. Unless we get a fair value gap off of that, in which case that is a confluence we can use as well. In either case, we want to see price come within equilibrium, so that's also a thing. Hmm. Right now we're looking for signs of continuation because we did get a break of structure on one set of 5 minutes. So from there, we just move on to the next. We haven't got a break of structure. We did get an inverse for value gap right here. Right there, inverse for value gap, closure below this line there. From here, yeah. And again, per this candle right here, we're in a downtrend, and that is the case. We have a lower high, or sorry, lower low, lower high, lower low for this right here, because this closed below this low. This is the newest low. Most recent to price action low is this right here. And again, we want to see this. We want to see a continuation confluence. That's a fair value gap. That's a breaker block. That's an order block. It's an equilibrium price action wise. Equilibrium falls under the most recent high and the most recent low. Most recent high, most recent low. Price would need to fall like roughly in there. And from that, it would need to respect that and then continue on down. We have a move up here. We're looking for the new move. We have 4.5 minutes ish for this next move to occur. Either it's a new move or it's not. And if it's not, it's a continuation up from this current move. We want to see the reverse back down occur. Technically, that would be our fair value gap, though, this right here. Because this is a fair value gap, we'd be moving to the 1 minute. From this fair value gap, not this, this right here. From this fair value gap, we'd be looking for a break of structure or an inverse fair value gap to form within this leg here, because again, this was our move up. We saw price come down. We're looking for that to occur. Starting to look like price is actually reversing. It is. So this might be a continuation move on the higher time frame. In which case, we need to wait still on the 5 minute for a defined closure on that candle, so that way we have a well-defined fair value gap. From there, move down. Do we have any more news hitting? Let's see. That hit at 8:30. Let's refresh this page. Hello. We have one more USD folder hitting at 10 a.m. That is a large difference. If forecast is, or sorry, if actual is greater than forecast, is good for currency. So if that's green, it should be going up. Don't need that anymore. Let's sit here and wait on this. We have 2 minutes, 30 seconds for this candle to close. I am butt kicking tired. I really hope it doesn't work out. Again, I'm de-risking. I also want to mention something. So, per trading view and trade locker, right? The take profit and stop loss zones, where I'd set them, right? It's kind of stupid. It's kind of busted, right? I've already demonstrated this on the previous video, and I'm going to explain it again. So on trading view, you have a level here and a level here. This is current price action. This is price action from before, right? It makes sense to take profit right here, right? Set one here, enter roughly lower, get as much as you can going up, right? That makes sense. On trading view, it looks like this. One chart. This is one chart, right? The exact same chart on Trade Locker looks like this. You see the problem? You can't set a take profit below your entry unless it's a short. And I'm not taking a short, I'm taking a long in that case, in that example, right? In this example, it's the reverse problem. I'm taking a short. Where would I put my stop loss? Well, just above the most recent highs. That makes sense. That makes the most sense you could think of, because all of the take profit at that point is below. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Typically, the stop loss is your notion saying that you're going to buy back what you lost. It's where your trade idea is wrong. Cool? Cool. Outside of that, it's also where you would typically set a take profit if you were thinking for the reversal. Because, again, you got to come in. I'm coming into this thinking in both directions. Is it going to go higher? Is it going to go lower? Where are my confluences, key levels, everything leading up to? And once I'm met, I see it, I take action, I enter, and potentially win or lose. And if I don't take actions, because nothing is clear on the freaking chart. And this is where I draw my solid, great big white line of de-risking, because both of the exact same chart on two different platforms are different, and it's screwing with my idea as to what my trade ought to be. Right now, I'm working off of the one chart on Trade Locker specifically, and for right now, during this instance, I'm looking at the chart and it's telling me one thing: price is wanting to continue down. We are about to have potentially a break of structure. We have 4 minutes. That one closed. This one right here did in fact close. Looks like we're getting a 5-minute break of block looking thing. Something's occurring right here. Not entirely sure what. We might be seeing continuation through here because we did a fair value gap here. So we think price is going to continue lower, right? From here, we want to continue to the 1 minute. Boom, right there. We'd be looking for a fair value gap in this or a break of structure. Right now, this is the low, lower high, lower low, lower high, or low. We have not had a break of structure out of this. What's a break of structure in a downtrend? When a high is closed above right now, that's the most recent high. It's got to get closed above in order for it to be break of structure. And for an inverse gap to form, we would need three candles lined up together, kind of like this. 1, 2, 3. With a gap in between. An inverse gap is the retrace up, closure above, and then from there we enter on that high and watch it plummet afterwards. I'm not seeing fair value gap in this anywhere. Unless you want to consider that. That's a very small fair value gap. We inverted it. Looking at price continuing lower. Outside of that, I'm not seeing much else. At least not at the moment. Oh, hello. Right there. That candle closes to the downside and we get a retrace back up. That is a valid looking thing right there. That's a valid looking inverse value gap. There we go. Hello, 1 minute. Pop up. That's a break of structure on the 1 minute. I spy with my little eye potential problem. That would be our break of structure right there that we'd be looking for. Now comes the hard part. Is it going to continue lower from there? Or is it going to continue higher? I'd like to say it's going to continue higher. Let's look at what the 5 minutes doing right quick, because I'm concerned about our confluence there. That was a fair value gap. Looks like it's about to get inverted. If this candle closes above this, that's a break of structure before an inverse fair value gap, in which case we might see an inverted fair value gap. I think it's best to wait and see if that closes within, because if it respects it and we see a move back down, that is our key point to enter in on a short position, and we'll continue on lower. But in the event it does not respect it, and the respected candle closure, right, has got to be within that range for us to enter on the 1 minute. We're going to look very, very carefully at this. We're going to make sure this is sublime, thin and through. We got 40 seconds for this candle to close. We might actually have a trade worth taking on our hands. Let's see. The idea is down. We have break of structure going up. Looks like we're going to have an inverse value gap going up. That's completely fine. All right, so break of structure and inverse value gap. Let's see what happens on this other side right here. Go over 1 minute, see what's happening right here. We have break of structure, mini retrace, not a problem. Price is continuing higher though. We may be targeting these two here, taking out these relative highs. Maybe even these two here. We'll be taking out these two, and then we'll see it arch over, break structure out of that, and then we'll get a early entry off of that. Do we see, am I seeing anything special right now? While that's going on, I don't think this is going to take too long. What are my confluences right now? If we treated this right here as a key level, ooh, hello, the hour. We did not break structure on the hourly like I wanted to. Instantly, that's out. But I think that's what we went off of, was this right here. If this right here was our key level hit, that would have meant it was respected. We wanted to see price continue down from this key level here. This is where we hit. We had break of structure as well as a fair value gap form. We thought price is going to continue lower, no biggie. From this break of structure, we looked for this way. We looked for a retrace, boom, fair value gap, inverse fair value gap on the 5 minute. This is our confluence that says price is going to continue lower. From this confluence, it does, but it doesn't continue lower than this previous low here, right? From this confluence, we spot, guess what? Another fair value gap here. That fair value gap is another confluence down low. Not a problem. From that, we will hunt down pretty much this move here. We thought this was going to be our fair value gap, inverse fair value gap break of structure right here that we'd be entering off of. However, we got a break of structure on the 5 minute and an inverse fair value gap saying price is going to continue higher and not lower. I am also now looking at this. If this were a break of structure and this were a sweep, that would mean this right here is breaker block material, right? The breaker block material would need to fall, then move up, move down, move up, and then from here it would need to fall within the range of the order block. What was the, show me the order block. Right there. This was our order block right here. That was our order block. No. Where are my notes? And it could be just that I'm fried at the moment. Before a break of structure. From a breaker block, the order should go 5-minute break of structure, 5-minute break of structure, or breaker block. Cool. There would be a break of structure beforehand. That's what we got there. Cool. I'm going to break of structure to the downside. What's a break of structure to the downside? In a downtrend, that is when A low closes below a low. No, in a downtrend, it's when a high closes above a high. Outside of that, it will be that right there. So this would be our breaker block right here. Because this closes within the range of this and it doesn't go lower. This is a respective breaker block saying price is going to continue lower. From here, we'd go to, because we also have fair value out there, we'd go to the 1 minute. Cool, we'd look for a break of structure within this. We need boom, boom, low here. This is a thing. Yeah, this is a break block. Order block, sweep, break of structure, pull up. Here's our retrace. We're waiting for it to come back down. We'll see it break structure off of this right here. How much lower will it go? No idea. It's about to be 9:30. Do we have any news? I think news is good up till 10. Yeah, 10. Am I doing good? I think I am. I mean, I've identified most of the confluences needed. And I know I am jumbled up right here when it comes to breaker blocks, order blocks. I'm trying to identify one of the two, and it's just failing me at the moment. Realistically speaking, it'd be better off if I just did the equilibrium method for the 5 minute right here. Because, yeah, that'd be the easiest way to move to really get this underway. From the side of this low, we need to come up within. Technically, it's already respected it once. Here we are with a retrace. Coming to test it again. Just so we're on the same page, it would look something like from this high right here all the way down to this low right here. And as you can see, prices come up within this right here. It's actually danced across this. Or within this range in an up move, which means price has potential to move higher if it breaks structure out of this right here. But if it doesn't break structure and respects the zone and continues moving down back into this and closes within this, it'll move down and back up and it'll just consolidate. What we're looking for is a well-defined break of structure beneath this or above this to determine where price is actively going to go. And when it breaks structure, it'll wick down, come back up, retest this to confirm that yes, this is a valid direction it wants to move. And then from here, it'll respect this zone, wick into, and then close below and push even further down. Right now, it's consolidating, so we can't really make an accurate mode. There we go. Minute 20 until that closes, and we'll see price continue moving higher instead of lower. My idea has changed 3 times now. It was, I guess, 4. The initial thought was if I can catch one on the down, that would be awesome because 1, there's a super strong confluence down below saying yes, it'll sweep that, right? 2, incredibly close equal relative lows, and I'd like to see it hit that. I don't think it's going to hit that today. What I think is going to happen is because of the way this is right here and the fact that market open is literally right around like 5 minutes away, not even 5 minutes, like 30 seconds, we're going to see market jump all over the place. And what is more likely going to happen, price is going to shoot way up past this right here, and we're not going to be able to take a trade today because 1, again, the charts are stupid right now. I can't get a accurate take profit level up here because the freaking thing doesn't have one for me to take outside of the most recent relative high, which, okay, sure, that's uncharted territory, and as a result, literally speaking, that's a no-no. I don't touch that. I stay away from that. We had a closure. It was inside the upper part. Now we're looking at this candle here. Did we get a break of structure? No, we did not. We are simply waiting. I'm sitting on my hands until I see price within equilibrium that I enjoy looking at. Otherwise, I am not touching it. And I know of a lot of experienced traders are going to be like, dude, why aren't you just taking the trade off of this? Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you doing this? I'm like, dude, I am new, and I have lost the past 5-6 trades I've taken. My goal in this right now is mostly to learn. Because again, my entire motivation to take a trade today has gone out the window. I have no motivation to trade at the moment because one of my confluences didn't appear when I needed it to. Because it didn't appear, I have no interest in taking a trade. Because I have no interest in taking a trade, I have no problem looking at a chart and witnessing exactly what's going to happen for the period of time that it's going to happen in, to determine, okay, was my strategy right? Was it wrong? Am I okay with the confluences I identified? And do they make sense to me on this chart? Because right now, the charts don't make sense. To me, they don't. I am now mitigating that risk factor completely. I am no fool. I understand the difference in being smart and not being smart. I am learning. Watch and learn. That is essentially what I'm doing. As tired as I am too, I'm watching. Watching and learning with all the tired eyes I have. Mad consolidation is what it's running with right now at the moment. We'll see what it does. Don't want to take a trade, but don't want to. We have 1:30 for that candle to go anywhere once. I'll be patient. We've waked past the most recent low. I feel like I've done a fairly decent job at identifying almost everything in this video. If you're enjoying it so far, consider leaving a like. Subscribe and follow if you're new on the comeback, and if you're honestly not new and you haven't subscribed yet, why haven't you? I'm trying to make money, and through my mistakes, you could learn something. Hit the subscribe button. Comment below also if you're experienced and know a thing or two about this more than I do. I've been at this roughly, I've been studying the material hardcore for like 2 years now. I got into it 4 years ago, and I have only started trading this year on demo. I am thoroughly understanding of what demo is and that it cannot be taken the exact same way you do in the real market, though this does represent and kind of have the same motion of the real life market does, right? I'd like to stay with demo just for the safety and knowing, okay, I'm going to get comfortable with this before I get my capital invested and potentially lose a lot. I'd rather. I know the safety precautions need that. I'm saying comment below what you think I could do to this strategy for my current situation, because this chart again, I'm not going to explain it again. This chart does not make sense. I'd like your input. What do you do in this situation when you have two charts, one for chart work and the other not, being the complete difference in each other, right? You see the two and you think, oh, SMT diverges, no problem, but it's not just an SMT divergence, because it's an entire year span that is different. It is not just a minute or a second. It is an entire year. It's actually years, because the highest point on Trade Locker is now, and the highest point on Trading View is 2015, 2016, something like that. So let me know in the comments. What do you think? Help me out. Help a brother out. Help yourself out. Because chances are, if you say something and I find it kind of incorrect, I'm going to say something about it. And I'm going to help you guys out. And the end result's going to be we both learn from the entirety of the situation. Ultimately helping everybody out. Because that's always a good thing. Hello. Motion. We have 3 minutes here. Let's see what the 1 minute's saying right now, because did we get solid break of structure out of that? No, not yet. Actually, it would be this candle right here that have a break of structure on. That candle's got a close. 3, 2, 1. That is a closed break of structure with a fair value gap there. Do we want to press sell? Do we wanna? Technically, we're in a downtrend. Sure, why not? I have my stop loss good to go. I know where I want to set it, so let's go ahead and do that now. My stop loss is going to sit right up here, right above that high. As the highest high, it's going to sit above my take profit. Where are those lows? Let's go to the hour just to make sure that's what I'm looking at. Right here. My take profit is going to stop right at these lows. Does that look good? Yeah, it kind of does. I'm going to go Trading View now and do the same thing on NASDAQ over here. Zero looking at the other thing. I'm going to press sell because that's a thing. Sell, yes. My stop loss is above this high here. My take profit is going to be set right there. Boom. Is this a good trade for this right here? No. But on the other thing, yeah, it's a decent trade, and this is a decent chunk of change if we can manage to hit that take profit. That being the case, yeah, we're seeing the retrace. We're seeing what's happening. We're seeing what's up. I didn't press buy, I pressed sell. We're in a short position. Yeah, it's currently what we're waiting on. Currently what we're doing. So stuff. We broke structure on the hour, which is a good thing. I mean, that's kind of the confluence we were looking for, kinda. But I think it's going to continue on down. I think I was right about the equilibrium. I think what's going to happen is it's going to come up, retest this zone, and then respectfully fall back down, which is okay in my opinion. I don't mind that. We're going to keep an eye on the 1 minute, just to keep an eye on it. I'm going to pause the video now. You can see this here. You can see this here, plain as day. It'll be pretty obvious if we get stopped out, and if we don't, yay, we have a take profit. We can say we won today. Yeah, I'm gonna pause the video until something major happens, and when it happens, I'll pause and go over what happened. BRB. I can't wait to go to sleep. We're just gonna keep watching it. And by we, I mean you, because I'm not giving up. I'm not mad. I realize I could have probably left down here. Probably would have been smart of me to, with the 1 penny that I earned. I almost want to pause video again. But we're so close to stopping out. I don't know. How long have I been recording for? We're recording for an hour and 22 minutes. I think we get, what, 3 more big candles just like that one right there? We'll get stopped out by spread. 3 more, so 15 minutes. Yeah. If it breaks back down below that low, the very last one made, the most recent one, you know, this one right here, if it breaks down below that, I have no problem with pausing video and just letting it play again. This got scary, spooky real quick. Something tells me I'm wrong now compared to earlier. Oh, hello. Sunday. Platform will be inaccessible from 1 to 7. Cool. Hopefully they can fix the price ranges from past data. Do I think we're going to get stopped out? Maybe. I thought the past 15 minutes we'd get stopped out. Let's see if we can just break a structure back to the downside. This is the low that's got to get closed below in order for it to, continue on down. If it closes below that, I'll pause the video, continue to wait. Until then, We go. We just got stopped out. We lost another pretty penny. We failed this month. I'm gonna go to sleep now. I'm gonna try again tomorrow. See if I can get that trade right. I'll see you guys then.